What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Katsik here back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is our podcast for Saturday, February 7th, 2026. Another big game day for the Michigan State men's basketball team. Number 10, Spartans going up now against the fifth ranked Illinois fighting Illini. Again, this is going to be a gut check game for Michigan State and also just a test of where they are as things stand, where they are in the nation. The stakes are very, very high in this game. Very, very high. Really, it's not much less than the Michigan game. Obviously, there's always going to be more stakes with a game with that type of rivalry game. But Michigan State loses this game, they're 3 games back of Illinois in the Big Ten standings. You're basically out. I don't know if I see Illinois losing 3 games on the rest of their schedule. Illinois is red hot, probably the best team in the Big Ten the way they've been playing right now. I still think probably Michigan's the best team in the Big Ten, given what I've seen, but Illinois is not far behind when they play Michigan. That's going to be a heavyweight battle, but still, Illinois, very, 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 very good team coming into the Breslin Center right now. Again, this will be, I believe, MSU's fourth game of the season against a top 10 opponent. All 3 games against top 10 teams have gone relatively similar to each other. MSU's been in it. Sometimes they've controlled the game. It's been close towards the end in all of them. Uh, Again, they didn't really control that Michigan game at all, but they had a lead in the second half. They came back from down, I believe, 16 or so, like double digits, a legitimate comeback. They were in it with a couple of minutes left, and then they got outplayed at the end. They got outplayed at the end against Nebraska, and they got outplayed at the end against Duke. Have to avoid, well, again, you have to hang around for one. That's not going to be something you can just assume, really, with the way they're playing right now, one, and two, just with how good Illinois is. But they have to win, play better in winning time in this game. But that's just kind of the thing I'm going to be looking for if it gets to that point. Before that, though, again, Illinois has a ton of really, really good players. This is a really, really like roster wise, it's right up there with the best in the country. It starts with their biggest surprise. No one really saw this coming. Keaton Wagler is their best player. True freshman, 3 star, like 3 star recruit. He was rated in like the 250s, I think, in his class on the composite rankings on 247 Sports. Um, only had a couple other Power Four options. Ended up, if any at all, I can't remember his offer list. I looked at it earlier this week, but it wasn't like a super impressive. And then there was just Illinois. Goes to Illinois and he's instantly a starter, and he instantly becomes amazing. So averages almost 20 points a game. I can't remember his stats off the top of my head, but it's like he averages like 25 and 4. One of the best players in the Big Ten. If he wins the Big Ten Player of the Year, I wouldn't be stunned. Really just shoots the lights out of the ball, makes about 4 of every 9 threes that he takes. That's quite literally the ratio he's at, 44.4% from deep. Watch out for this kid. He's not daunted at all by the atmosphere he's about to be going into in the Breslin Center, because he's gone into Mackey, the only arena I think I would legitimately say is tougher to play at than the Breslin Center. Dropped 46. Nope. Like he's not going to be super flustered. I would be surprised if you see a difficult game for Keaton Wagler. Provides size at the point guard spot as well. He stands at 6'6". He's going to be a legitimate matchup problem with Jeremy Fears. Again, that's another thing we have to talk about too. Fears. What will happen with there? I doubt you're going to see a serious suspension, right? Like if Izzo suspends him for the first half, I'd kind of be stunned. He said he was undecided because really, they need him in this game. Maybe if you're Izzo, you that on the contrary, if you're Izzo, you're thinking I have to send the message by maybe holding him out for so long in a game that's really important to get the message across to not do the things that he's been doing the last 2 games. Izzo doesn't think it's as bad as he's being portrayed right now, but he's not an innocent party as well. Again, it's the 2 plays that stand out to me are like just the really, really bad ones. There's other plays out there that are questionable, but not ones that are like completely cut and dry, like the trip of Yaxel Landeborg again in the Michigan game, and then the backwards kick of the Minnesota player. Those are the 2 really bad ones, if you ask me. Even like the flagrant he had against U of M wasn't that bad to me, because I think he was at least trying to go for the ball a little bit, and I don't think there was like any real intent to do anything severe over there. But the trip and a backwards kick, yeah, that's kind of bad. But yeah, really, if I had to guess, pure speculation here, no insider knowledge. probably imagine you're going to see Wojcik start this game. That this is just my guess again. Wojcik probably starts, plays a couple of minutes, and then you see Fears come in off the bench in this game. So uh, we'll see. Maybe he doesn't do anything at all. That no matter what he does, he's going to be asked about in the post game press conference. He probably won't really want to answer it, but that's going to have to be asked. But other back to Illinois though, a couple other players. They have Andrzej Stojakovic, son of Peja Stojakovic. I think I'm saying that right. Former 3-point god in the NBA, one of the earlier shooters from the 2000s, kind of before I could really watch basketball growing up, but I know who he is. Surprisingly, this Stojakovic on Illinois doesn't shoot the three ball really well. He's one of their only guys who's not really strong, good at it. Pretty much everyone on their roster can do it. He does shoot a couple of threes a game, but he's only at like 23, 24% on the year. He was about 30% in the years past in his career. Still another really, really good player, guy who can take it to the rim. Another guy to look out for. They have the Ivisic twins at center. Like pretty much all game, you're going to have someone with the last name Ivisic playing the five. They're 7-1 and 7-2. It's kind of funny. They're twins, but 1-7, 1-7-2. Both of them can shoot it. I think one of them transferred in from Arkansas, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, one's Tomislav. He's the starter, I'm pretty sure, and the other one's Zvonimir. Again, I don't know if I'm saying those right, but yeah, two guys you're going to have to look out for as well. As for Illinois as a whole, best offense in the country on KenPom. That is my main concern. Can MSU's offense playing now with Divine Ugochukwu, who is out for the season with a broken bone in his, I can't remember which foot he injured. But he has a broken bone in one of his feet, and he's done for the year. Tom Izzo announced that straight from the source himself. So you're without your second best point guard, a guy who can create better than anyone on this roster, behind Fears, out for the year. So again, Fears is more critical than ever. Than ever. That's why he's extra critical now. He can't get into foul trouble, and he can't get into other trouble with his other antics going on too, because they need him on the court. Fears really from now on can't be playing fewer than 32, 33 minutes a game unless they get a blowout win and they can give Wojcik some extra run. And that's the other thing. Wojcik has to be a guy who can reliably hold down the fort and keep things level for a couple minutes at a time while Fears gets a rest. Because until the NCAA tournament, you're not going to see Fears play 40 minutes. Really, until like the Sweet 16, maybe, you're probably not going to see Fears play 40 minutes. You just can't. That's just, at the end of the day, there is still fatigue going on here, no matter how much conditioning goes on. Another thing, Illinois' defense is going to be a tricky puzzle to solve. They don't force turnovers like at all. Dead last, actually, in college basketball in turnover rate on the defensive end. Just a really conservative defensive philosophy. They barely ever foul as well. That's the trade off. They don't force turnovers, but they're not going to give you free throws. The teams hardly shoot free throws against Illinois this season, and also I'm blanking. Oh, they play zone. Infamous in Michigan State circles, just as being one of this team's kryptonites moving forward. So again, it might be 2-3, it might be 2-1-2. I think those are the two that I haven't really watched. I've just kind of been busy with some other things going on lately. But I think 2-3 is one they do a lot, and I think I've heard 2-1-2 is something that they do once in a while. So you might see some 1-3-1 offense for Michigan State, and I'm trying to. I'm recording this really late. I'm trying to remember the type of offense you would do for 2-1-2. Would that be 1-3-1? Zone defense. I'm blanking on it right now, but yeah, it causes issues for Michigan State historically because they don't play zone defense themselves at all. Izzo hates it. It's like trying to get your pet to get some medicine. He won't do it. He just won't do it at all. So that's always been my theory. I think of why MSU's never seemed to crack a zone, especially earlier on in the season. That's why they lost the Duke game. It's part of the reason why they lost that Duke game, because Duke broke out a zone at the end, and they just weren't ready for it. But yeah, going to be a very, very interesting game as far as a prediction goes. Unfortunately, I just think Illinois is playing better than Michigan State lately. Early February, Louisville has really hit them. Just weren't as good as Michigan. Like when they've played these top teams Like Duke and Michigan at home, they just have been a step below them. That's just how it's been. They played Nebraska. They're on the same tier as Nebraska, if you ask me, because they played them at Nebraska, lost by 2 points, also without Divine Ugochukwu. He had an illness during that one. And this is another game where the limited amount of time I've watched Illinois, I've been more really impressed than what I've seen from Michigan State, especially lately. One side's going upwards, one side's going downwards, and it's hard for me to not imagine those directions continuing. That's just usually kind of how your mind goes to. So I have Illinois winning by probably about 2 possessions or so, 4 to 6 points. Close game, close competitive game, but Illinois ends up getting a win here in the Breslin Center. Who knows what's going to happen though? That's just my guess. Really, with how weird things have been, I mean, MSU needs to win now. Just it's been a tough sports week. It's been a bit of a tough sports week. Besides Samson Gash signing on the football signing day, you've seen back-to-back MSU basketball losses, and now I'm recording this really on Friday night after the hockey team blew a 2-goal lead to Michigan in overtime. They're gonna have a chance to make up for that before the basketball game starts. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a difficult sports week. Spartan Nation could definitely use a victory in this one. And knowing how these seasons go, knowing kind of how Izzo coach teams tend to do, they go out and go get a win. I wouldn't be stunned. I wouldn't be stunned at all. I think Vegas actually considers them to be a slight favorite. I disagree personally that they play the games for a reason. It's not played on betting lines or anything for a reason. It's good. It should be a fun game. Regardless, expecting a nice atmosphere from Michigan State fans. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Once again, though, there'll be plenty of written content on this game at SpartanNation.com and at Michigan State Spartans on SI, whether that's basketball, football, anything else that's really going on. You can check there for all of that. Thank you, though, for listening, whether you're on Apple Music, Spotify, or any other streaming platforms. Thank you very much. Once again, though, I'm Jacob Katsunika, and I'll see you guys around.